1.
1. If it's a line on top of a line, it's how many solutions? Infinite. And if it's two parallel lines?
No solution.
Very good.
Said nobody ever.
Said all of us together.
No, but like whenever you said that, like, hey, we're graphing. Nobody.
And that was like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, you're a little bit late on that one.
All right. So solving linear equations by graphing. What form do you think we need to put our equations in?
Y equals mx plus b.
Slope-intercept form, y-intercept form. You've heard it a bunch of different ways. Y equals mx plus b. Must be. You know this concept, right? I don't need to put it on. You don't need to write it. Just put it in slope-intercept form. That's what that says. I was asking. You can write it if you want to.
It's literally not there.
Communicate your answer. Yeah.
Yep, fanciness. All right. So we have a system of linear equations here. You see how it's two equations into one, like we were doing a substitution method? So how would I turn this into two lines so I could graph it?
Put y equals.
Y equals the first stuff, and then y equals the second stuff. Like so. And yes, you will be annoyed because why don't we just solve for x while we're here? That would be easier. But you need to understand this concept so you can do it in Algebra 2. You just need to understand it. I'm not going to make you do a ton of it. All right. So then we graph these two. So this first equation, where's my first coordinate?
1.
So I go over 1 and put a dot. And then what's my slope? Down 1 over 1. So that's equation 1. My second equation, where is the y-intercept?
-5.
-5. So I put a dot here at -5. And then what's my slope? Up 2 over 1. So it should go right through there. And then the solution would be where these two lines cross, correct? I'm well aware we could have just finished the substitution that was already up here.
2, -1.
2, -1. As I said, I prefer substitution elimination, but you need to understand how to graph. Any questions on how we did that?
No, man. See, it makes us check for substitution.
Of course it does, because that's the easier way to do it. All right. Go do number 1 and 2. All right. So now we're looking at the absolute value of each side of this. Hooray. So on the left-hand side, you just need it in slope-intercept form. On the right-hand side, we have the negative version of it and the positive version. What's the absolute value? So
Oh my goodness. They're doing too much.
left-hand side, or first equation, we leave everything positive. In the second equation, we make the second absolute value negative. So then we have we're going to have 4 equations here if you're not understanding that.
What I need help on.
Okay, so then you get y equals x plus 1 and y equals 2x minus 4. And then the second one, where everything has to be negative on the right, we distribute the negative. So our 2 equations would be x plus 1. And then y equals negative 2x plus 4. So all in all, we end up with 3 equations. We have y equals x plus 1, y equals 2x minus 4, and y equals negative 2x plus 4. I will give you just a moment to write that.
Wait. Isn't 2 of them the same?
That's what I just said.
Oh. Okay, my bad.
Because you only...
I'm a little slow.
You only
It's okay.
change the second half.
Correct. You only change the second.
Wow.
You only give the second equation the 2 possible outcomes, negative and positive, of the absolute value. Because they said so. So everybody got it?
Well, whatever. I'm just gonna Yeah, I got it.
All right. So now we're going to graph each system. So the first system, what's my y-intercept?
1.
So I go to 1, and then my slope,
1/1.
1 over 1. So you see it go through that point. My second line, what is my y-intercept?
-4.
-4. Should be down here. And my slope,
Couldn't you do it like the other way?
yeah, I can go up to 4. And then I...
Go down to over 2, right?
No.
Go down.
No, that's only with the slope.
Yeah, that's only when the slope changes.
What's that? 5, 6.
No, more like 6, 7.
5, 6 is correct. So that's one answer.
The other one should be like,
Second answer, we have the same first line. And then the second line is +4. And then the slope's -2. So it crosses at 1, 2. So for each system, we have 2 possible solutions. So we might have x equals 5. We might have x equals 1, depending on the absolute value.
That actually makes sense.
That's not terrible.
makes sense.
Just-
Don't want it.
I understand.
I got an error in my monitoring.
Yeah, I think the server is being messy.
Well, I saw something when I first opened the Big Ideas. It said something about
Yeah.
assessment, practice, and lesson.
Yeah, it says practice assessments and assignments currently something.
I just got a fatal init error.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what mine said. Wait, what does that
I
mean?
think our Chrome
Yeah,
is here, but
learn
then-
loss
oh, yeah,
and
our Chrome
fatal
is gonna
init
die?
error.
Not your Chromebooks. It would be not on mine as well. It's the Big Ideas website.
Then why did it say fatal?
That's the Big Ideas website.
Oh, we need to
Oh.
give our
So it's
Chrome
about-
kill us?
CPR.
It's about to crash.
Oh, that's not good.
So let's just go do the last example real quick, and then I'll print out a short worksheet.
Oh.
Like a 5-problem one. I mean short. All right, so let's do this example.
Stop
Yeah.
reloading, guys.
Just listen.
Go to the next one.
Oh,
Just
Be
listen.
patient.
Just listen. Just have your journal and listen. Your family needs to rent a car for a week while on vacation. Company A charges $3.25 per mile plus a flat fee of $125. Company B charges $3 per mile plus a flat fee of $150. How many miles of travel are the total cost of the same?
Oh,
So we're creating 2 equations. When you hear a flat fee, what part of the equation?
B.
That's your B intercept.
B.
Yeah, so plus B at the end. When you hear per whatever, what is that telling you? That's your. I'm so proud of y'all. Y'all can turn word problems.
Fatal error. I didn't
Just
even-
watch me. Don't worry about your computers. All right, so company A, we're going to do the cost per mile times X plus 125, right? So what's the cost per mile?
325 per mile.
25.
So we're going to do 325X plus 125 equals, and then we're going to make it equal to company B, which is how many?
3x plus 150.
Yep, 3X plus 150. So now we're just solving for X. They want you to graph.
Of course they do. Weirdos.
Well, the whole lesson is on graphing. So you split them up into 2. We graph them on a graphing calculator.
Yes, graphing calculator.
It tells you they intersect at 100, 450. So X equals 100. So where the 2 lines are the same is at 100. What is that telling you? X is representing what?
Your
Per mile.
slope.
Miles.
Miles.
So 100 miles.
So at 100 miles, the cost of the rent-a-cars are the same.
That makes sense.
So if you're going to drive more than 100 miles, then you want to buy the cheaper one. If you're going to drive less than 100 miles, you want to buy the other one. Comprende?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But yeah, man.
Do they still do
If
that?
you go
now?
more than 100, then at one point they're gonna split again.
No. Yeah. So the red, see right here, the
At
red,
one point. There's one solution.
company A is the red line. So for a while, they're cheaper. But once you get to 100 miles, then they become more expensive. So if you're just going to run around town, then you go with company A. If you're going to go with company B, if you're going to drive more than 100 miles, because at the long term, it's cheaper. This is real world application of math skills.
Would you actually use this if you had a rental car?
Yeah,
A lot
I
of
do
times just
use it.
rental cars for like the amount of
You use
days
a
that
graphing
you pay for.
calculator?
No, I do the math. Who cares about graphing? Not me. It's
I was
terrible.
like, you do graphic
I hate.
calculator?
I don't like graphing. No, I do the algebra because so when I plan 8th grade class trip, I make a budget. I figure out all the costs. I add in what food would be and all the things.
You should make us like help you with this so that we can actually learn how to do it.
Sure.
Yeah, bro,
Can do.
it's just better for real world.
I mean, not everyone has to.
It's not hard math. All right, let me go print a short worksheet. All right, that's it for the lecture.
What?